so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the frame, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the frame, in the home of the
And welcome everyone to MaxSpeedTV. We got a great race shaping up here at Darlington here this evening with the Loose Lug Nuts Racing League Top Shelf Auto and Detailing Cup Series. Now, I'm going to be joined in a little bit by Mr. Bob Wells, who will be my co-host this evening. My name is Jeff Wood, and on the keyboards tonight on the cameras is Mr. Michael D'Amico, as always. Welcome everyone. Qualifying just getting underway here. We had a 183 lap race here at Darlington this evening. High track temperatures, daytime, 50% fuel, no fast repairs, nothing of that sort. So all damage is repaired, and we will see damage this evening. But
we sure will, Jeff, and I think that damage is going to be primarily on the right side of these machines with the old Darlington Stripe, if you will. I've seen a lot of that here in practice. Who's your pick tonight, though, Jeff?
Oh, I don't think I have a pick because I think it's going to be a toss-up here this evening. We'll see how track position handles out, but how about we go ahead and look at that scoring for the season standings thus far. This is the last race before the season or series finale at Homestead for this division in loose lug nuts. Now we look over at those points. Wes Holland is up now in front with Ronald Klein. Second, Jeff Gilmore and Dustin Lee share the bubble third, fourth spot with John Pansula, Kevin Winter, Mitch Reeves, and David Toker Johnson still in the fight. And it's only 9 points, I believe, separating Jeff Gilmore in third from David Johnson. So it could be a big swing of a race for certain drivers here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And not seeing Mitchell Reeves actually with us tonight, so that will put him down and out. But that bubble spot's going to be a tight battle. Guy I'm kind of going to watch in that is Kevin Winter. He's currently on the outside of that top four, but definitely has shown the speed and talent to maybe make his way in that Final Four for next week at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yep, we'll be viewing these points all night. Thus far in qualifying, James Lehman in that 8 on top of the speed charts and qualifying times. He's up there. Jeff Merck, who won last night, up in second so far. I think he's done with qualifying. We got some new guys here tonight, and you might wonder, why does the league add new guys in at the end of the season? Well, it's to help produce talent. If you can't race with the other members in the high stakes situation, maybe it's a different type of view, and we get to see guys come in, race around our regulars, become regulars themselves, and add a little bit of flavor here this evening.
Absolutely. Currently showing Wes Holland just went up onto the pole. James Lehman, Merck, right up there in the front. And then we have a new guy, Daniel Smallwood. And he's in fourth.
Yeah, a little bit of a name slip that Bob does once in a while. It is also Derek Luchaki, since we'll go ahead and get that one out of the way for Bob, who's running in sixth.
I got that one. Luchaki.
All right. Final 2 minutes here. 16 cars taking a qualifying time, and we saw this last night too on the recorded session. A lot of guys, about 50% of the field somewhat, not taking qualifying, trying to ride the back. A lot of the guys don't like this track, find it a little bit difficult to get around. Other people excel at it, but no matter who you are, if you let your concentration go, the lady in black will slap you up against the wall.
Yes, it sure did just slap Garrett Potts on his qualifying lap, getting that wall at the exit of turn 4 and hammers that inside safer barrier. I think he has one lap because he didn't get across the line. We'll see if he can do anything with it and try to post the time.
Yep. We'll have some final qualifying moments coming up here. The last minute of qualifying. Hi out there, all of our people watching right now live on YouTube with MaxSpeedTV. Thank you for showing up. It's good to see people out there rooting on drivers. We'll try to stay energetic with chat as much as we can. We imagine we'll see a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of cautions, but there's bound to be at least one or two. Turn 2's really treacherous here. It's going to bite some drivers. Maybe they surprise me. I want to be surprised here this evening, yet they still can.
And I was talking to Wes Holland briefly before the race. Kind of reported the car is tight, and he believes that passing is going to be incredibly hard with this aero package on the cars.
Yeah, different from the 1.5 mile tracks we have seen of recent. Darlington adding a somewhat one groove track. You gotta wait for the person in front of you to mess up. However, here we go into our gridding session. We'll have our lineup coming in a moment. All right, we'll go ahead and kick it off, get it rolling. Wes Holland grabs the pole of the number 4 machine with the qualifying time of 27.841. He gets the top spot.
Week here at,
teammate there, James Lamont, will be on his outside. Jeffrey Merck, third. Daniel Smallwood, new driver, fourth. Ronald Klein, points driver here this evening, will be starting 5th. Garrett Potts, his Team Exile teammate, 6th. Dustin Lee, also Team Exile, also involved in points, 7th. Derek Luchaki, looks to be 8th. Kevin Winter still involved in points. He'll start 9th. And I believe that's Kyle Chadwick in 10th. Bob?
Yes, Kyle Chadwick 10th. We have Michael Smith Jr. in 11th. Judd Danielson starting off in 12th. Crazy Mike John Panzula will be rolling off 13th. Brian Rizal out of Covington Motorsports starting 14th. David Doga Johnson rolls off 15th here tonight. Josh, not Michael Scott, rolls off 16th. Magic C's Mark Jackson out of Kansas rolls off 17th. Lucky, not sure who that is.
Matt Egan.
Oh, that's Matt Egan. Well, maybe put that name up there, hoping to be lucky, but rolls off 18th. Rob McFarland and that one machine, and our series sponsor rolls off in 19th. Jason Covington did not post the time, 20th. Jeff Gilmore, Stephen Lyman, Jay Smoke, Lee Bryson Jr., and Cooter Craig Covington rounds out the field.
Yep, 25 cars to start the field here tonight. I imagine maybe nope, Smoke, not Tower Admin. We have a Tower Admin. Not sure who it is this evening. We'll find out a little bit later on. But a lot of drivers out here comparatively this week as we wind down the Loose Lug Nuts racing season. We got one pace lap upcoming here. These guys are going to kick it off quick. And what we saw last night, this car does, or the tires at least, not necessarily this car, it has a lot of wheel spin, Bob.
Yeah, we saw a situation in the last night's with the Top 8 Series race right on the initial start. A lot of chaos with wheel spin, and a couple of competitors sustaining heavy damage before they even got into turn 1, where the fun really begins. Of course, these restarts are going to be hairy. Too wide into that narrow turn 1 can be very, very exciting. The guys in the back of the pack will be fighting an arrow push situation being in the draft. Those guys up front. Pace car now down into turn 3 with the lights out extinguished on the iRacing Mustang. We're going to get ready to turn our moves for 183 laps. 252 miles, I believe, is your race distance mileage-wise.
All right, here we go. Pace car down, waiting for that green flag. It's going to come out any moment. Wes over-anticipating a little bit. Long run up out of turn 4. Looking for that green flag. Every driver it is. Here we go. Green flag out. Darlington, the track too tough to tame. Now we head down into turn 1 to see what these drivers do.
Down into turn 1, we have the top 8 cars all side by side. We got Garrett Potts rubbing the wall there in that 40 machine. And they all make it through 1 and 2 the first time by nice and clean. Wes Holland is showing the way. Good battle for that second spot between James Lehman and a guy we've seen be very strong here at Darlington. 3 wide in the mirror. Holy cow, I can't believe they just did 3 wide out of turn 4. But Jeff Hurt, we've seen him very strong here and actually slips back a spot.
Yep, Smallwood in that Scooby-Doo machine in the 069 getting put up to 3rd. He is a fast driver. They're really fanning it out, giving some room. I like to see that. We've got a battle going on back there. We'll get to it in a second. But we got a battle also shaping up for 1st, 2nd, and around 5th spot.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting racing back here. They were just trying that 3 wide action down into 3 again.
Well, they got to do it early while the tires don't escape the vehicles at this point. Oh, Merck into the wall hard.
Oh, wow, that's a surprise. We've seen him put on some really good performances here this week at Darlington. That's a shocker.
Yeah, he's not involved in points, but he really took that out of turn 2 there, and he's going down pit lane. He might have to retire here this season. That was a heavy shot. Tough
break for that 60 machine. Hopefully it's not too bad, and he can work with it and get a good finish out of that tonight.
Yet we remain green here on the field. James Lehman trying to hunt down the 4 of Wesley Holland. Wes really had a good run last night, sustained too much damage, still finished 4th in respects to that damage. But still, he's got a clean car. This is where he wants to be. You want to be out front. You want that clean air.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best place to be, is up front, not have anything in your windshield, and hopefully not have anything too close in that mirror. James Lehman, however, is right there. About a 10th and a half last time back. Behind them, though, we do have a pretty good little trio here of Klein, Smallwood, and Winner trying to get into that picture, working his way up to 5th place already. That's 4 spots up that he's gone. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Ron making some moves. Definitely Kevin Winner, who probably didn't have a successful qualifying time, but still a guy to be reckoned with. He's obviously in the points, and we mentioned a 9-point gap from 8th to 3rd. So it's anyone's race. We're not going to speculate early on, but imagine halfway through this race, we're going to start looking over at points yet again to see where these drivers are.
Yeah, this is fixing to be exciting. Kevin Winter still trying to advance his position. Like I said, he's the guy I think that's outside that could get his way into that top 4. Really, top 10's all single file at this juncture here. Field will begin lap 8.
Yep. Early stages here, 183 laps. We showed the temperatures on track. We've seen some battles. 1-2 really significant, well, not significant, I should say, in the battling aspect. They're really singling out here. What happens now is tire wear, Bob. We're at that point of they've driven as hard as they could to get their positions. Now they have to maintain it through successful use of their tires.
Yes, they're definitely going to manage the situation. Luchaki moved his way up around Kyle Chadwick. He comes on the bound. Contact.
Oh, wow. 2 cars touch.
He got a heavy helping of Darlington Stripe down there in turns 1 and 2. And Garrett Potts just kind of sent it down on the inside of him. Got right up into him.
Yeah, Garrett Potts into the wall early on in that old Sterling Marlin Kodiak paint scheme, as we are at Darlington, which is the NASCAR throwback. Some guys being able to throw back, we didn't really think of it until last moment here at Lug Nuts. It escaped us for a little bit. But some of the drivers you will see with special banners across their hoods. Maybe Mr. D'Amico goes up to the front here and looks at Wes Holland. He's got a yellow stripe across the back spoiler, across the hood of the car. So most of the guys, I believe, will have that are in the top 8 at this moment. Oh, car around.
Down on the front straightaway. Didn't catch who it was. I don't work my way back there.
Either way, I think they cleared the car.
Yep, they were
really
down
quickly.
on the apron actually here, getting back up the speed at a turn 2. That looks like Jason Covington and that 10 machine was the one that was
James
around.
Lehman off the pace here. The 8 machine off the pace. He got really loose off of turn 4. He's going to get passed by Ronald Klein. Smallwood upcoming here. Here comes Kevin Winter. I don't think James Lehman's up to speed yet. He has to yield yet more positions. Kluchaki now below him.
Yeah, just rewinding it on my screen. He got the wall out of 4 pretty heavy duty. He did a hell of a job keeping that off the inside safer barrier. It's amazing he didn't wad that thing up.
Yeah, 3 wide situation we had there, as Bob commented. Luchaki's scooting up the track, not able to hold that low entry into the corner. Lehman gets past him yet again. Winner now in front of Lehman, but Ronald Klein now up to 2nd spot.
Yeah, we see Ronnie Klein in that 76 machine doing a good job here in the early stages. Just had another bang at 3 and 4. Didn't see who it was. We're going to hear that a lot tonight. We hear these bangs from the chopper cam, and you know something's going on. Somebody getting the wall somewhere. But Wes Holland, 3.7 second lead. He has checked out. Checked out and didn't even leave the housekeeping maid a tip. He is gone.
Yep, 76 has a lot of spots to go in that Camel throwback.
James Lehman just got the wall again in 3 and 4. He's having some kind of an issue here.
Yeah, tire wear it is early on. 15 laps in, Bob. I think we can get to, around 30 at this track with this car, depending on, I know the fuel load's 50%, but just roundabout, I would say 30 laps, and, I could also be way off.
I think you are. Fake news on that, Jeff. I believe it's actually low 20s with this package here. I didn't get a good read from the few laps I did turn. Caution does fly,
yellow.
so,
What do you got for temp?
Believe it's the 15 of David Johnson, Robert McFarlane, Jason Hughes barely gets by it. All right, 15 coming up on the replay. 155 may be the cause of it from Mr. D'Amico there. We'll see what happens. $15 just off the wall, bounce. Oh, Robert McFarland again. Bad luck. Series sponsor, Robert McFarland. He was up in the top 12 in points early on in the season. Just faded back there, missed a race. He's got major damage on that one machine. Pit stops are upcoming.
Yeah, and Mark Jackson used up a lot of good luck there and not getting caught up in it.
Yeah. I think Jason Hughes barely gets by it. He gets a little bit of the wall there from the 58 machine. We're seeing that on replay. At least I'm watching it back on the delayed end. And Mr. D'Amico getting the good coverages here. We got pit stops upcoming. Once again, a different type of pitting situation going on here. We saw that it was key last night. Ronald Klein could have had a win, yet he messed up on the final pit stop, and that's what cost him last night. Let's see how he does here in that 76. Yep, in the 76 pits. Let's see how he does.
Ooh, looks like top two spots, box 1 and box 2, both had trouble with getting their pit box entry. It might cost both these guys a little bit.
Yep, Ronald Klein out smooth. Oh, wow, you are right, Bob. They really messed up. Ronald Klein, as we were watching, gets out in front. There he goes, away into first place. He has the clean air. Wes Holland, you say he went through his pit box?
Yeah, it looked like he was backing up, and James Lehman also had trouble landing in the box where it needed to be for the pit stop. Seeing him move around and before the stop began.
All right. So we're nearing the end of the season here. We just got through pit stops. We're going to grab some guys here in the back of the field and talk to them. I want to bring up Mark Jackson, who has had a successful run of races lately, and give him a good talking to, see what his look on tonight's race is.
Yeah, let's give him a talking to.
Mark Jackson, you got a copy, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, man. Late show up for this race. You're here. You've had some good races here in Loose Lug Nuts Racing League. Looking to get back to it. Maybe looking for a podium. What is your outlook on tonight's race?
Well, you know, we just missed the cutoff to make the chase, so tonight we just want to have a good run. We had a pretty good run here in the Xfinity car, and I was happy to see that we got 180 laps. I think that might play into our strategy a little bit. My driving style, try to save a little tire, hopefully get a long run here, and see if we can move our way up.
All right. Well, before we let you go here, tell us how the car feels. Is it loose, tight, or you working it differently in corners?
Well, right off the bat, man, it's pretty much flat-footed right through 1 and 2. 3 and 4, you got to lift a little bit, but there's a little bit of aero push too behind some cars, so it's definitely fast here at Darlington. But just don't want to get up into that wall. You know, you might get a little bit of Darlington stripe, but you don't want to hit it too hard.
I hear you there, Mark. We're going doubling up here. Have a good rest of the race, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Okay, and that's Mark Jackson driving that beautiful over-the-top paints and designs number 3 machine. Currently in 10th. Field is doubled up. Lights are out on the iRacing Mustang. Klein Winter, your front row winner, doing what he needs to, Jeff, to try to get to that Final Four for next week's race at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Yeah, he is. He's got himself well positioned. Ron wants to hold on. I don't think he's in any jeopardy, maybe with the size of the field, but being out front and on the first restart, Ronald Klein does have the go pedal all locked up for himself. Bob, get the call here.
All right, that iRacing Mustang is going to run it high and get out of the way. Klein is the control power on this start, and The go is on him. Let's see what he gets. And he gets on that rather nicely. Gets away nice and smooth. Looking back to the back. Don't see anybody getting crazy, wheel spin or anything else. Well, Klein does get down to turn one with a good, solid car. Playing lead. Now gets reeled in by Kevin Winter right to the middle of 1 and 2. Let's see what Winter has.
Oh, crashing going on
in the back of the pack around. So yeah, 40 machine was involved. I'm not sure who else. I saw a few cars over there.
Glue Chalky involved. I think Gilmore involved. Gilmore not involved in the points in this series, but he is at least on Thursday and Saturday. Oh, not more around. Gosh, the 01 of John Pansula was backwards. There's another car.
I'm not sure if we had the replay up. That was like 2 different wrecks occurring simultaneously. There was two folks making contact while one guy just went up and stuffed on the wall with a hard Darlington flag. And we actually have an admin thrown caution at this juncture.
I quite agree with this move. I've been seeing it used lately amongst the admins of various leagues. If there's a significant amount of damage or crashing going on, and as iRacing doesn't like to do when you're below the white line or yellow line here, it doesn't throw the caution. Admin throws the caution. I applaud this move.
Yeah, most times we just rely on the software, which will indicate, we'll see something happening, however that IT stuff works. IT geeks of the world know how the hell it works. I don't, but occasionally you need to do something like this, as this is definitely prudent at this juncture.
Yeah,
that second wreck that he threw the caution for. What did you see on that, Jeff? I didn't catch that one.
I barely caught it. We got some pitkery going on here. 057, that would be lucky Matt Egan. Not so lucky. He is really damaged. I don't think he can. Well, it looks repairable. Some guys staying out. Smallwood in. He takes a group of back runners in. That's going to hurt Smallwood, the newcomer here in that 069.
Yeah, that was just some contact over there in 3 and 4, and Lucky definitely was not lucky.
Yeah, Derek Luchaki getting signaled there for maybe the initial disturbance, but there was guys wrecking all over the track anyways. And the man we just talked to also, look at that 3-car involved, unfortunately, Mark Jackson.
Jeez, we put the jinx on him, did we?
It's the announcer's curse. Whoever you try to pull up normally goes there. But unlike last week, this week we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here at Darlington with the Loose Lug Nuts Racing Series Top Shelf Auto and Detailing Cup Series on MaxSpeedTV.
If you're looking for a gift for that special person or just want to treat yourself, check out Expressions by Erica on Facebook.
Cups, hats, t-shirts,
Heat transfer vinyl,
graphics, and much, much more. Treat yourself with a personalized monogram to go in your Yeti cooler or the back of your car.
Erica does it all.
Need something that says I love you for Valentine's Day, your anniversary, or even birthday? Erica has you covered with the best gift for all of those special occasions. Missy from Facebook says, they did an amazing job on what I ordered. They also did it very quickly, even though I had it shipped from South Carolina to Tennessee. I highly recommend them. Thank you, girls.
Also from Facebook, Casey says, great job. And they did it last minute for me since I completely forgot I needed it. Everyone loved it.
Contact Expressions by Erica by calling 843-810-3883 and like us on Facebook.
Expressions by Erica. If you're looking for a gift for that special person or just want to treat yourself, iRacing, the world's biggest premier in online sim racing, gives you, the driver, an experience of a lifetime in competing against some of the best drivers in the world. All drivers take their hand at each track and they want to look good while putting it up front. Wouldn't you like to do the same? Introducing iWraps, one of the leading online iRacing paint venues, offers you any custom paint that you desire. Show off your sponsors and style while running some of the greatest sim racers out there, and look great while pounding the pavement or spinning in the dirt. Any color or any design, no request is too small.
All right.
From sprint cars to cup cars, they cover anything you want. Want to show off at local venue? Or how about running one of your favorite real-world drivers paint? iWraps
But there's
does it all.
curly in.
Custom suits, helmets, cars, and logos. Just ask and they will make it look like $1 million while you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour. iWraps produce high-quality virtual paint designs.
All right, guys,
racing vehicles
wrapping
of all
up the
kinds.
commercial
Search
here.
iWraps on Facebook and send a message today to make your iRacing experience more than
Oh, the
just
joys of live
for you to
broadcasting.
see. iWraps, the top of the line in online.
A little
racing
chaos
paint
from
wraps.
time to time, a lot of good times. Lights are out on the iRacing Mustang. And it is now down on pit road. Ronald Klein, Kevin Winter, we just got this all re-racked back up, and we'll get these guys down and away to begin lap 27. And Jeff, I was just looking at the points where Kevin Winter runs now. He's in the final four.
Yep, Kevin Winter holding on that second position as we just go green here. James Lamont has the potential outside groove over Wes Holland for third spot. Wes has the bank low. And the Haviland car. Oh, that's Brian Bazell, who wanted a better run last night, just missing the points last night in the Xfinity Series. Kevin Winter high, well fine with a low exit out for turn 4.
James Lehman definitely on the attack mode right now, trying to get up to that second spot. Winter now drives down in the turn 1, makes a great roll up on that 76 machine. Those guys come off turn number 2, all tightened right up.
Yeah, they're single file, but it is competitive racing out there. The guy behind you's waiting for a mistake. Kevin Winter on the back of Ronald Klein trying to ease that mistake there. Guys really battling it off. Someone got into the wall off of turn 4. Keeps it under control, but they're 2x2 for about 7th spot.
Yeah, real tight going down there. Judd Danielson able to work his way around Kyle Chadwick. Insurance 1 and 2 in that 161 machine. But they got a little gaggle there looking for a place to wreck, but it looks at things.
Yeah, the 069 is Smallwood, new to the league, up against Jason Covington in that 10 car. Jason winning at least a week or 2 back here on, I believe it was the Cup Series. He's looking to edge up and have a successful run to it his season.
Absolutely, and watching that Jason Covington now under attack for his position right behind them.
Yeah, 10 machine just easing through Smallwood there. Smallwood looks to have a little bit of damage on the right side. He did go down pit road and get stuck back in this traffic, but let's step up front and see how our leader is doing. Ronald Klein, Kevin Winter just keeps applying the pressure. Ronald Klein easy enough into the corners. We have lap traffic potentially upcoming here for the 76.
Yeah, that lap traffic will be coming rather quickly, probably down in 1 and 2, they might meet up. It looks like Winter's kind of fighting with Mark Jackson, spoke of. You can get that a good draft down the straightaway, but then in the corner you don't have as much aero as you need as far as downforce. So maybe that's why he can't really make that move that he wants to on Ronald Klein. And our leaders will work past this lap traffic quite easily without any pain.
Yep, Toker there, the 15, David Johnson, not having much of a car left. He is in the battle for the points. He's on the back end of the battle, has a rough start to his Cup Darlington. Here we got a pass for second.
Down in the turn 1. Winter up on the high side. James Lehman down low. Winter able to actually maintain that position. Now Wreckham West Holland will start to challenge that 8 machine for that 3rd position as they roll off from the turn 3.
Yeah, drivers that have to watch out. At least one driver right now who's probably out, maybe 2, is the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. And I would say John Pansula looking out on this battle. They have to march their way up front. We are still early on in this race. Lap 34 into 35 of 183. Still a long way to go. A lot of things can happen. I said halfway we would talk about points, but it's relative here. Looking at the 78 up front.
Yeah, currently as they run, I'm projecting that using the Jeff Jeff Wood Common Core Math Calculator. It's the Ninja Series 1. Great product. Pick it up there on eBay, folks. But using that calculator, Jeff Gilmore is actually out of the top 4, with Kevin Winter getting into the top 4 as they currently run. We still have a lot of racing to go as the field works. Lap 35 of 183. This is going to be a long night.
Yep. And I believe every car is still on the track, making a potential different outcome to this race. David Johnson vying for other guys to go out. He's involved in points. He needs a lot of guys to be unlucky here this evening. Another car that's already lapped down, upcoming for more laps down as the leaders reel in Robert McFarland, our series sponsor.
Yeah, and he gets down to the inside, and these guys should easily negotiate their way around him. Might leave a little bit of a challenge for James Lehman as he's going to catch him right there in the corner.
Wow, McFarland got loose.
Yeah, he got loose. It might have actually brushed Lehman, or Lehman may have brushed him on the way by.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get lower than expected for some drivers. They're a little bit trying to get door draft or whatever it may be. Lehman there again off the wall of turn 4. Lehman going to fall further back. I want to look at our leader here of Ronald Klein. Look at the gap he's put on Kevin Winter early on in this run. We are 2 cautions in, but Ronald Klein doing a successful job out front.
He sure is. Just about, 0.352 to be exact last time at the stripe with that gap. Doing a good job, though, and sad news, Matt Egan, lucky, definitely unlucky tonight, and he has retired from the race.
Yeah, first, we got a crash happening on the front stretch. Couldn't catch who it was. Still can't see who it was. They're going to slow back on the track. Yellow.
Smallwood.
Okay, quickly, tell me what you think.
Oh, wow.
I believe he went around as a result of getting the turn 4 wall. I'm going to wind it back, but that's has all the telltale signs of that.
Yeah, 069 involved there. Smallwood, newcomer to the league, had a good qualifying start. Replays upcoming here, and we'll see what happened to him.
Tries to get underneath. Looks like Judd Danielson and makes slight contact. Judd got the wall a little bit, and that's what got him turned around there and hits the inside safer barrier rather hard. Jeffrey Merck has also packed it up and headed off to Winn-Dixie to get a 12-pack of beer and then home. And done with the race.
Yep. We're going to see a lot of the leaders come up here. I don't think you cannot take tires, as during the last caution they did. That looked to be at least a 2-car contact or a single car overall spin. Not much damage done to the field. No big one at Darlington with those drivers. Some drivers staying out. Let's look at the 78 machine here on our pit stop. All right, folks, looking at that 78, he's in his box. He's out and going. Doesn't spin the tires too much. Looks like Ronald Klein might beat him out, yet he does. Oh, Ronald Klein getting beat out finally by Wes Holland, who steals the first position back with that number 1 box. 78, who we're reviewing, got out third.
And I'm showing 1 lead lap car. It looks like he's going to pit this time. Brian Bazell did stay out, probably just so I can mention him. But he does go down to the pits this time. And field under caution will begin lap 42. Still 141 laps left here at Darlington. A long ways to go and a lot of challenges for these drivers to get through.
All right, Bob. Pick someone in the back there, and we'll bring them up and give a good interview for them.
Well, I'll grab somebody right quick. Crazy Mike, Bad Bob Wells, and Jeff Wood up in the MaxSpeedTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
How's your race going so far, and how's the car driving?
Well, the car's driving good. I'm not driving very well. I was running pretty good up there in the top 10 for a little bit, and just ended up tagging the wall. Went down in the infield there and hit the inside wall and caught some damage there, but I'm caught up. I should be all right.
Well, all right. Well, best of luck in the rest of your race, and hopefully you can get back up inside that top 10, maybe even a top 5, and have a good night against the lady in black.
Yeah, she's really tough, I'll tell you. I had a rough night last night as well. I appreciate the invite up top there, and appreciate everything you do, brother.
All right. Good rest of your race, buddy.
See you.
Yeah, John Pansula involved in the points. We're doubling up here yet again. Good racing going on. We're seeing a lot of it. Maybe some cautions involved, but not really too big of mishaps here on the track tonight. There's no one really overshooting their position or racecraft this evening that we've seen or at least been able to call. Good racing going on. Bob, what do you expect for this next run?
I expect it to be a real exciting run, this next one. Got the guys re-racked again. Some of these guys have worked on their damage. Fresh Goodyear Eagles on these things, and a nice tank of Sunoco racing fuel. Still in the early stages, so it's not time to go all berserk and crazy out here to try to gain, but got some hard charges up here in the front of the spec. Excuse me.
Yep, couple guys off. Admin saying watch your exit on turn 4. He's been seeing a lot of that. John Hedrick in the admin booth here tonight. Green flag upcoming here. Wes Holland with a good jump out front. 78 and 76 with the battle for second.
Yeah, that green came out, and it was time to go. And he said, "See you later, brother." And right out to the lead, he went. And the winner now back up into that second spot. Currently, I believe, looking for Gilmore. Winner is still.
Pansula around. Caution. 0-1 around.
Jesus. Every time we talk to somebody, Jeff, is there somebody you're mad at? We'll talk to him this time. That was
0-1 involved. Yeah,
Oh,
0-1. He doesn't got too much damage. He needs to stay in there. He's involved in points. 0-35 of Lee Ryson Jr. With a throwback scheme there. I know he's running with MaxSpeedTV team normally, but throwback paint. He's involved. He's probably out of the race. That was major damage to the 0-35. Quick caution. Normally that's where you see cautions here at Darlington when you're doubled up.
Yeah, it looked like Bryson got that wall, and Crazy Mike was just a victim of him and the broadcaster's jinx. Peeled back out behind the pace car here on lap 45.
Yep, I don't think we'll see guys go down pit road. Maybe some guys outside of the top 10. You mentioned Jeff Gilmore. He's riding in 12th spot. I hate to do an announcer's curse to him. It doesn't look like he's going down pit road. Let's see if we can't get an interview with the 57. Jeff, you got a copy there?
I did. How you doing?
All right, dude. Running 12th at the moment. Are you going down pit road, buddy? I don't want to mess you up.
Nah, I didn't go down the first time by there, so probably might stay open. But no, we only had half a lap there on those, so most guys stayed out.
All right. You're on the bubble for points, battling for third. You got to worry about position with other drivers to get into this, final race at Homestead to run for the championship. It looks like you're taking it easy, but it looks also like you got some front-end damage there. Is your race acting out like it should, or do you want to hang back a little bit and let things play out?
Yeah, I was hanging back at the beginning now, but I don't want to get back there too deep because there's a lot of damaged cars now, so I'm just going to try to hold my spot here and find a hole to run in, and kind of taking it easy too, though. So, yeah, and I caught the wall once myself there and had 12 seconds damage, so, yeah, it's a little wrinkle, but not too bad. All
right, you got your Darlington stripe incurred. maybe you don't need a second one at least. Hunt down those guys, man, and hopefully we'll see you have a successful end of your race, sir.
Best of luck, Aaron.
Yeah, just want to finish. Thanks, guys. Just want to finish the race here and hopefully get a top 10 out of it or so. Thanks.
All right,
All right,
57,
so
Jeff
we know who's
Gilmore.
going to be in the next caution because we just interviewed him. That's going to be Jeff Gilmore.
I hope not, Bob.
I think we should interview the pace car driver. I'd like to see that iRacing Mustang get wadded up here tonight too, Jeff.
The NASCAR pace car driver's been in enough accidents in his own lifetime, Mr. Bodine there, so I don't really need him flipping into the catch fence.
Anyway, quick rundown of our top 5 as they roll around behind that iRacing Mustang. Wreckham West Holland is first. Kevin Winter is in second. Ronnie Klein in third. Derek Luchaki in fourth. Dustin Lee fifth. That is your top 5 at this point. Field will begin lap 48. They should get the signal from the flag stand to cross them over this time by. And we'll see if we can get back to some good old-fashioned green flag racing.
Yep, if I had to put my money on it, it looks like Dustin Lee and Kevin Winter would be 3-4 respectively in the points, so they are our now new bubble drivers. We'll keep you updated on how we feel the points are looking. Dustin Lee having a good run here early on. Still well over 100 laps here to go this evening. Quick caution there after a green flag. Hopefully the announcer's curse doesn't persist. Other drivers moving up through the field. We'll see how they do this evening as it plays out. A lot of the times, and I mentioned it to some of the other guys in the league, attrition might play a factor here this evening.
It could very well. Looks like 4 cars probably have retired. I'm not sure if David Johnson's still on track. He is. 3 cars at this point have retired, it appears.
Yep, bigger field than we've seen most of the week. As I mentioned, we are in the closing stages of the seasons here. Wes on the loud pedal early on. Boy, that was really early. I don't even think he was on the front stretch. That might be a penalty.
I hear Ron Klein saying something. I couldn't pick up what he said. But the restart rule is the leader is the control car, and they can go on their discretion. So, well, knowing the rule the way it is, I didn't see anything wrong with it unless they've changed or updated that ruling.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I hate to say it. Back in my day, you had to wait till you were on the front stretch and the pace car had already exited the track. But we are still green flag. We'll let the admins deal with that job. Yes, Michelle out there saying she wants the pace car job from Bodine there. Here we are, green flag yet again. Wes really holding on to the lead right now.
Yeah, Wes Holland doing a fine job. I'm looking back here at James Lehman. Worked his way around the 40 machine already. And now is pressuring Judd Danielson for that position as those two guys drag race down the front straightaway. Lehman succeeds back behind Judd. We'll watch these two, the 85 and 8 over in turns 1 and 2. Lehman almost gets the wall. May have actually just grazed it a little bit. Now takes a look down to the inside as they rocket off in the turn 3.
Yep. Good tires early on. If you're going to make a run, it's through 3 and 4, but being low on the exit is James Lehman. He pinches the 85 up. 85 still has the better run. James Lehman actually really fast through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a hell of a drag race on the front straightaway. They were dead even. James, though, with that good entry into 1, able to take that spot away. He's moved up probably 2 or 3 spots since we've gone back to green.
Yep, battle brewing back behind them is Jason Hughes in that 58 and Garrett Potts in the 40 Kodiak machine. Jason Hughes succeeding that position, now under fire from 57 of Jeff Gilmore.
Yeah. I'm not seeing a Kodiak machine. I refreshed mine. I don't know if yours is out of date. I'm not sure what Mr. D'Amico's seeing, but pretty good looking car if it's the one I'm seeing as well. Jason Hughes.
Yeah, I'm seeing on at least the extended replay here, the playback at least on delayed form, that it is a Kodiak 40 machine. So maybe you need to refresh
I
your
guess
paints,
so.
Bob.
Somebody's got to get with the program. Apparently, it is me. Now watching James Lehman set the real Dustin Lee in that two machine as they head down the back straightaway.
James Lehman has probably a potential faster car. It looks like he took some time during that pit stop to get it repaired. Robert McFarland slow on the bottom, good to succeed to these lead lap cars. 8 working on the 2. 8 has to realize he's working with a points potential, but good racing here. It doesn't look like Lehman pressuring too much, just waiting for the 2 to up. He goes low here. Let's see what happens.
Man, he'll easily bypass the G2 also racing start. Yellow flag is out.
Oh, 3 Mark Jackson, 151 of Stephen Lennon, big body there around. Let's see where it started, though. I'm not quite sure how it started. Oh, wow, with the 96. Wow, it really started there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that on my screen. Looks like Cooter had trouble on the entry of turn 1. Gets up against the wall, gets in the turn 1 high, and then goes down to the apron, and then he just re-entered the track and didn't realize those guys were there. He gets the inside barrier as well as both those other competitors. Tough break for all involved.
Yep. Well, let's look at our 03 machine here. Derek Luchaki, he's running 3rd. They're down on pit road. We're going to view him as he gets into his box and see what he does. He has some damage to repair if he chooses, but does he cede track position, Bob?
I think you got to work on the damage a little bit. That's what I would do, especially at this point in the race. Only 57 laps. And he is down and away.
He didn't give much heed to that damage. He gets out 3rd.
Whoa, side-by-side battle between James Lehman and Ronald Klein there. Nacone and Klein did win that battle off pit road.
Yep, just an update. The chase, or the admin, I should say, of the race here tonight, and league owner John Hendrick, saying the 96 and what we also viewed coming back up onto the track, starting that chain of events that led to the 3 in the 155 getting turned around.
And a few other updates too. Brian Bizzell and Mark Jackson have packed it up and called it a night. 2 more drivers retiring.
Oh, wow. I'm seeing the 15 machine halt. He's still going, but if the 5 machine and the 3 machine are off track, potentially the 96. No, he didn't sustain too much as the 3, but David Johnson just hoping for a shorter and shorter field as he is vying for the lucky dog and long outcome of point situation.
Yeah, still plugging away with it and staying up on that wheel. Great job by David, sticking with it despite the situation that he's in. You know, he should bypass Brian Bizzell, Mark Jackson here in a few more laps as he gets caught up to them.
Yep, Stephen Lennon, the 155. John Pansula now last on the lead lap, the 01 U.S. Army machine, throwback to the Mark Martin era of that car. Good to see it. We've seen it for a few weeks now. Let's see. Wes Holland still maintains that lead position for the 4. He is really looking to go into, Homestead as the top dog, but at Homestead, points doesn't matter. It's all about finishing position.
Yeah, and looking at that, with Winter 2nd, Gilmore 8th, it's like a 1-point buffer as they run right now. Of course, there's a very long way to go, Jeff. But looking at Winter in by 1 point, I believe, is what our team, they also did the Trump election, but that's what our team's projecting. It wasn't the team that picked Hillary to win either.
Good comparison there. We are doubled up, like you said. 4 machine, just to count back as the pace car is about to dive off the track yet again. momentarily when we get back to the front stretch. The league admin saying that he fired correctly in position. Now, I looked at it differently as he wasn't on the front stretch, maybe looking at the front stretch. I don't know what the rule is currently now, but you were right, Bob, in calling that.
Well, I mean, it's good to be right sometimes. Like I said, I hadn't seen the updated rule or read it, but now the pace car is off, and let's see what Wes does this time. Let's see if he can check out on this start. Real tight gathering on the inside line. Wes drops the hammer and gets away.
Yeah, he gets away from Kevin Winter. Kevin Winter really holding a strong second position. Derek Luchocki up third, now under fire from that 8 machines of James Lehman. Ronald Klein back to 5th. We got a tight race for the top 4.
Yeah, tight race. Oh, contact down at the end of the straightaway. Down on the apron. He's going to slide up into Lehman. Lehman's up against the wall. Further down, we got reactionary action with Jason Covington sideways, and everybody gets it back straightened out, drops the hammer, and gets back after it. Wow.
No caution there, but 03 almost, I mean, he kind of went low, but he was also bumped, though. You know, he didn't have to cede position to the 03. The 8 really bumped the 03 in an awkward spot of entering the corner.
Yeah, I did that a couple weeks ago. I was bump drafting with Brian Bazell at Talladega. I hit him on the wrong side of the rear bumper and just churned him. I couldn't believe it. I felt like an idiot, to be honest with you. Wrecking somebody on a straightaway at a track that's that easy to drive around, but it can happen. You know, you hit these vehicles, you know, off-center and stuff, and the Camaros, they have a little bit of a point in the nose. I think James is actually in the Toyota, but you hit off angle like that and attempt to do a bump draft with good intentions and end up causing a situation like we saw.
Yeah, 8 gathering up better. He did a real good job. I think he just stuck the throttle there. We're still viewing our top 3. Wes Holland, Kevin Winter, James Lehman. James Lehman really coming on strong as he got back from overseas, winning a ton of races to update Loose Lug Nuts history, though. He is now 2nd position all-time in wins in Loose Lug Nuts.
Yeah, and he actually had a win this morning, too, in the late model series action at the Milwaukee Mile I saw on social media. So not only just winning here, but he's winning all over the place.
Yep, 8 real strong contender, looking for a strong summer series upcoming. Check that out on Facebook. Loose Lug Nuts Racing, over the top paints and designs. We'll have it all there for Loose Lug Nuts Racing. Also, check out MaxSpeed if you need a series broadcasted. Check out MaxSpeed. Get a hold of Michael DeBico. He's got it all posted up. How to email him. We'll get that out towards the end of the race as email if you need a contact. But still viewing the race here. Wes Holland outstripping his competitors, 78, really the strongest one behind him thus far this evening. But, you know, Wes, in a long run, will put a second or two on the rest of the field.
Yeah, Wes is just getting it done here in a great spot in that clean air with that number 4 machine. Kevin Winter is currently 2nd. James Lehman trying to reel him in, but I think he's fighting that aero push now that the tire has got some heat and some wear on him. And doesn't seem to be advancing very much. We have Derek Luchocki starting to reel Lehman back in. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a racing standpoint, Luchocki not involved in the points. Neither is Lehman. Luchocki really going low on the entry there into that turn. James Lehman can at least, if Luchocki wanted to bump him during a straightaway and show him the correct way to do it without getting him loose, he well deserves it.
It could be an educational moment for sure.
Yep, and that's what we want to see at least.
The field's pretty much single file. Looks like these guys have started to settle in and work a little bit more of a longer run than we've seen so far tonight. I didn't scratch a note down on what the last pit stop was, Jeff. It was 50-something though, right?
Around that number, I usually keep track of it when I'm in the production truck. Let's take a look at that 85 machine of Judd Danielson, running 6th right now. He is, I'm going to take a look before I say it. He is out of the points. Yes, he is out of the points contention into the final race. He's getting reeled in by Dustin Lee, but what a great run he's had early on this evening as we have well over 100 laps to go.
Yeah, still a lot of boogieing to do, but Judd doing a fine job there, running 6th, Dustin Lee in 7th as we look back here. And there's Jeff Happy Gilmore, who has not been struck by the announcer/broadcaster's curse yet. Reels in on that number 2 machine through turns 1 and 2. Let's see if he can do anything with it as they head off on the turn 3.
Yep, Dustin Lee looking low on the 85. There he goes. He barrels down. He's going to have to move up, block the 85's run out of the exit of the turn. He does so. 57 wants to marshal up one more position. He is fighting position with Dustin Lee, so he has to keep that 2 car. Oh, he's into the wall. Yet again, he mentioned getting the wall earlier. 57 slow off of turn 2. He's going to have to move.
Huge loss of momentum there. You can see him get reeled right in by Kyle Chadwick, it looks like. And quick update, Robert McFarland, our series sponsor, has packed it up and headed home.
Yep. Good to have Top Shelf Auto and Detailing sponsor here this season, this year so far for our Sunday Night Cup Series. It's been great having them, allowing us to see a wider audience here on MaxSpeedTV. We thank you, Robert McFarland, for your generosity thus far this season. We hope to have you back in future seasons and a continued partnership with Loose Lugness. You donate to iRacing quite consistently with putting on races. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, very cool thing he does. Back up front, looking at the 78 and 8, that battle has tightened up somewhat since we were looking at some of that action back in the pack. At a turn 4, James Lehman still trying to get back that second spot on Kevin Winter.
Yep, if the 8 gets in front of the 78 doesn't want to give up position. They both really roll into that corner a little bit awkwardly, giving up a lot of track and a lot of runoff turn 2. But, 78, the further he is up, the less he has to worry about the guys who are running in points behind him, because if the 78 finishes where he's at currently, he is in the points.
By 1.
by 1.
If Gilmore gets around Danielson, I think they're tied. And I don't know who has the wins and stuff between those two and second places and so on.
All right, I know Mr. John Hedrick is listening, our league owner here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing and owner of Over the Top Paints and Designs, the Saturday sponsor and painter for most of these cars out here. If you like it, look them up on Facebook, give them a chat, see what you can get. Maybe a quick update at the end of the night, if you can get Ronald to do it or yourself to quickly update those points, and we can get the top 4 in.
Wes Holland now way out front, about a second and a half over our second and third place competitors of Kevin Winter and James Lehman. And they have a pretty good buffer over Ronald Klein and Blue Chalky.
Yep, still struggling with that name. He will get it down, Bob, in a couple
That
seasons.
was spot on.
That was spot on. However, Wes into the wall a
Whoa,
little bit.
what is he doing? He's got this big lead. Why would you do that?
I don't know. He's coming up on Toker. Maybe he was telling Toker, David Johnson, sorry for those guys that don't know the nicknames out there, to give way here shortly. He does, but he definitely missed his entrance into that corner. Now through 3 and 4 tire wear, we're into the long green flag run yet again. We have to see a green flag pit stop upcoming, potentially. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it, but that's what it looks like for this outcome with 17 cars on the lead lap.
Green at lap 60, currently 79, and I projected at least low 20s, so I think we're going to see these guys start visiting pit road anytime.
Yeah, I saw Craig Covington. He's 4 laps down. He's on pit road. Lee Ryson Jr. still stuck on pit road, probably with a majorly damaged car. A lot of guys, at least, going to be looking at pit road as a potential stop upcoming. If I were anyone in the points position, I'd run it until it was dry. You don't want to be stuck on pit road with a caution.
Absolutely, but once everybody else goes, you pretty much have to go. Looking at lap times, Jeff, definitely some fall off in that. Kevin Winter's last lap was a 29.3 compared to a 27.9 qualifying lap. So if you stay out there on those old tires and these guys are already pitted, you're going to lose a ton of ground every lap.
Yep, if I were Kevin Winter, James Lehman, or even Ronald Klein, I would force Wes to pit by pitting at least a lap earlier than him, or at least letting him know that you're pitting by saying it out loud on the race chat. That way you force him down or make him make the decision of a longer run to wear out more tires and you have fresher tires.
Absolutely. Looks like to date, no takers yet on pit road. Field is working lap 82. Again, you might be the right one with the window. I don't know.
Yeah, mine was a guess.
90.
Mine was a guess. If I'm right in what you're saying for the start of this green flag run, be lap 60. Even under caution, we would see around lap 90, 92 being the entrance. James Lehman off the wall. Don't know if we were viewing that. We were viewing pretty far back with Ron Klein.
I saw something weird. I don't know if it was neck. There was up ahead of Wes, a bunch of sparks over there in turn 4. Don't think Wes got the wall.
That could be a server issue.
Now Kevin Winter is up against the wall. James Lehman dives down really low, trying to make that pass and not able to do it. Well, a little action in turns 1 and 2 with our second and third place competitors.
Yeah, Bob experiencing potential server or, my problem most of the time, internet issues. Usually when you see spots, these guys really got to hold on to their cars if they want to catch Wes.
Absolutely. Definitely not hallucinations. I was there and I was drinking, but not that much today. I think it's the lap car that was ahead of Wes. I've just gone it back. Wes definitely did not get the wall, but I think the car ahead of him did, and that's probably the what we saw on my screen.
Yep, we're still viewing D'Amico's screen though, so I've been mindful of that. Top 5 rundown as we head into a potential green flag pit stop. I don't think that's what points guys wise want to see. They want to see the caution flag fly and then take an easy pit stop, but we got like the 58 machine. He's down on pit road.
Yep. It just opened up and they got a bunch of guys coming, Jeff, and this is a tough pit road to get onto.
Yeah, you're carrying you want to carry a lot of speed out of turn 4, but when you get below that dotted white line, it gets really, really loose.
It's really slick, and it's like driving across a Walmart parking lot to get from really where the racing surface is to where that box and that yellow line to hit that pit road entry is. Same thing on the exit too. Very slick on that apron. Not much grip up on the track, but it is really bad on the apron.
Our leader going into this green flag stop is Wes Holland. He's on pit road now. Let's look at that 4. We're going to have a cycle through. You don't want to stay out too long knowing your leader and your fast runner so far is on pit lane. However, passing is at a premium. If you can gain track position, it is a good thing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. Lehman with just that one lap, and Winter as well. One lap sooner and that one faster lap. Let's see where they slot out here with Wes.
Yeah, Wes, a really great long run driver. Can do the short runs too, but he really shines on those long runs. He's a good green flag pit stop person. 4's down in his box. He's taken 4. Wow, he really drained that tank, or he's taken some damage. I'm not really sure. He's really stuck on pit road. Did he enter fast, Bob?
I didn't catch if he did, but yeah, that was a long stop, and it looked like he had to stop and hold.
Yeah, D'Amico, do we have a pit time on that? We'll get that upcoming. D'Amico will shout it in our ear, but the 4 really long stop, noticeable. We were viewing him, and he probably sped in if there was something. Oh, wow, yeah, he had a stop. He sped in for sure. And if you've ever raced with Wes Holland, that's his downfall if he's on an off night. You want him to have that bad green flag pit stop.
And what Jeff's alluding to is he either missed that commitment cone going in or had a speeding penalty, so a time penalty was assessed to his pit stop of roughly 15 seconds. That is what made that stop so long.
I would say he missed the commitment cone, Bob, because isn't speeding in like 8 seconds?
I think it's still 15. I haven't done it in a while. I'm pretty good at that shit.
yeah. Bob doesn't have to worry about getting on pit road. Usually, he's well versed on that. Now our new leader. We'll see where Wes shakes out in that running. Eventually, we'll let it wind through a little bit more. But our new leader, James Lehman.
Yeah, new leader, James Lehman, and Kevin Winter, well, they picked right back up where they were, just in different positions. Now Kevin Winter applying some pressure, almost applying a bumper to him over there in turns 3 and 4. Those two cars worked their way off of turn 4. We'll begin lap 92. We're getting there. We still got a ways to go, though. A long ways to go, and Wes can probably make up what he just lost. Currently back to 12th position, 16.6 seconds back of the leader.
Yeah, he's going to have to, for a better green flag pit stop. If we see another one, a yellow flag would really help the 4 machine. But out front, 8 leading. Kevin Winter really has to view his position. Do I want to win, or do I want to race for the win and potentially wreck? Kevin Winter has to know he's on that bubble spot at the moment and really racing for next week.
And our team is actually projecting that he has just fallen out with Jeff Gilmore now up to 6th spot and Dustin Lee in 4th spot. Those were the 2 competitors that he could have passed. Both of those, of course, were tied coming into tonight's race. But he is currently probably 2 or 3 points out of it as they run now.
That is correct. Kevin Winter only, gosh, what, 3? He needs a 4-position gap. Jeff Gilmore and...
I believe it was 7 points that he needed to gain. On one or the other.
Kevin Winter, sorry. Yeah, so Kevin Winter started this race 7 points back from 3rd, 4th position, which are tied, which is Jeff Gilmore and Dustin Lee. He's not seeing that at the moment, which is a real testament to the 2-car and the 57 machine.
And 2 cars been there. The 57, though, we did see earlier, was out of it, and he was in there for a short time. But still a long way to go. Field working lap 96. James Lehman is your 4th place leader, and still a lot of pit road action to still happen. And one occurrence like Wes had with a commitment cone or a speeding violation or whatever could dramatically change this points picture.
Yep. I want to take a look at the 161 of Kyle Chadwick, who is about to be under pressure from the 069 of Daniel Smallwood, newcomer Daniel Smallwood. Chadwick new this season, having good runs, finishing 2nd, I think, at Milwaukee or New Hampshire. Either way, he's had good runs himself. Maybe it was Richmond or a Virginia track there that he finished 2nd, but Martinsville, that's it. 161, Kyle Chadwick running 7th, holding off the newcomer. He's having a successful race. He wants to set the stage for next season. The Summer Series coming up here on Loose Lug Nuts Racing. Check it out on Facebook. Just do the Facebook search of Loose Lug Nuts Racing or Over the Top Paints and Designs. I'm sure you'll find links to get to the right page.
Yeah, Chadwick, I think, is actually newer to iRacing as well, Jeff, and definitely doing a really good job of putting this together. not only doing these broadcasts here at Lug Nuts, get the chance to race with Kyle and Monday and Tuesdays and Fridays, and he also runs the dirt. No disrespect, Matt, but he does suck on dirt, but he's doing real good on the pavement stuff.
Now, probably a better pavement driver. Tacks the wall there. Smallwood not gaining too much as he followed him almost into the wall. Good battle for position here, 7th, 8th spot. They got to worry about the man behind him, which is Wes Holland. Let's look at that Ford machine. He restarted. Well, I shouldn't say restarted. He was 12th coming out of that penalty box during the green flag pit stop. He's made it up to 9th. He's 15 seconds back. He has a lot of time to make up. He's not out of points, so to say. We'll check on that real quick before I put my foot in my mouth. But he still has to make up a lot of spots to feel like he has a successful race.
Yeah, he's not busy counting points. He's up on that wheel, and frankly, I think he's a little irritated with himself. He's made up almost a second and a half since he's come back on track, Jeff, on the leader. So he is not just riding around out there. He is getting after it and trying to make up all he can of what he lost.
Yep, while we've been under green here, we've had 3 drivers exit the field. That would be Stephen Lennon, the 155, Jason Covington, the 10, and Craig Covington, father to Jason in the 96 machine. Cooter, as Bob calls him, 96 off the track. So David Johnson, and 8th spot in points, still the long shot out, but he's slowly making up positions as drivers exit the track.
Yeah, he's just chugging along with it, and hats off to him. A lot of guys sometimes, they'll say the hell with it, and quit. David not doing that, sticking with it, and determined to finish here at Darlington.
Well, he knows he's a long shot. He started 8th, crashed, was involved in a crash. I won't lay blame on anyone. Maybe I will, but whoever. The 15 still struggling along. He's 11 laps down. I hate for other competitors to hope for other competitors not to finish, but the 15 has to.
Absolutely. I've been watching Wes. You ain't going to believe this. He is gaining 0.3 of a second a lap on the leader. And
it's Wes.
He is just driving the shit out of that thing trying to get back up there. It's wild. He's down to 13. He was, we'll get it right here at the line real quick.
Off the wall.
Yeah, he gets a little wild. It was wild to Wes Holland that time at the line. He's at a 13.401. When I first looked at it, it was 16.6 after the pit stops first cycled out on my screen. That just tells you how fast and how hard he's driving. Back up front, though, Kevin Winter still showing the way over James Lehman, who's 1.1 seconds behind. Tim Winter is coming and is leading.
Yep, this is where Kevin Winter wants to be. It's the 78 machine, but again, as you mentioned, Dustin Lee, Jeff Gilmore really not giving him breadth of room. Even if Kevin Winter wins this race at this concurrent positionings throughout the race, he loses the points battle to Gilmore and Dustin Lee.
Absolutely, but there is an advantage to being in the lead. In addition to the clean air, Jeff, I believe the win gets 1 more point. So that's if Gilmore has trouble or Dustin Lee on the next pit stop, and if he can maintain that lead, win the race. That margin, positions is one less.
Yeah, it is. And shout out there on YouTube, people noticing the clean racing, the green flag racing, even though we've seen some cautions, they've been minimal cautions yet so far. Noting John Hedrick laying down the law, admitting tonight, throwing that one caution that was well placed with a lot of drivers involved, laying down the law, like I said, getting these guys racing very well.
And just a few updates. Stephen Lyman, Jason Covington, and my buddy Cooter Covington have all retired, adding to those spots that Toker is going to gain here in the next few laps. David Johnson, that is, in the 15 machine.
Yep. A lot of cars lapped down. We mentioned Judd Danielson John Pansula, he's involved in points. He needs a long shot too. Look at that 01 machine, U.S. Army paint scheme going on. He needs some help. He needs some pit time there to get some of that damage fixed.
Yeah, what he does need is to get around Judd Danielson and get himself in that lucky dog spot too, if that caution was to call him out. Of course, he is a little ways back from Judd Danielson, 0.2 of a second, so he's got to get up there and get to that 12th position.
Yep, he cedes a lot of time on track to the leader, Wes Holland, and more distance. Wes really putting down some good laps here. Got some other guys in his mirror that he wants to track down, but has to make up that time on pit road potentially. We're coming up on lap 112 with Kevin Winter leading this race. Look at him go, but gosh, he has to be still concerned about points. I'm not sure he's keeping track of it at this point, but if he's listening, he needs the downfall of Lee and Gilmore.
Absolutely, and before that next round of pit stops opens up, probably step away for a quick break.
We have a crank it up cam, Mr. D'Amico. All right, Bob's going to step away. I'll keep it up here. Let's look at our leader, though. Kevin Winter, 78. He's going to be a little bit damaged on the rear spoiler, but not being challenged out to a second and a half, maybe extending it. We'll see on the next cycle. The 78 lead this race. James Lehman running second. Lehman putting on the sponsor machine of Lehman. I believe he is usually live on Twitch if you want to look it up. For his in-car camera, he runs multiple races throughout the week. Lehman really putting on a show for second spot. Not the fastest car on the track, doesn't got it down for this cup car here this evening. It's a little bit different from Lehman. He wants to lead races. He's a little bit aggressive at times, but runs a pretty well-rounded race. How about our third place MaxSpeedTV driver, Derek Gluchaki? Look at him. Tons of damage on that machine. Still running it. Oh, he's going down. Looks like he's getting a pit cycle going here. We'll quit with this rundown. He takes Dustin Lee with him. Let's watch Derek Gluchaki as he follows the leaders down pit road. We'll watch that 03 machine since we were stuck with him at the beginning of this. A couple guys staying out. Ronald Klein, Wes Holland, Smallwood. We'll potentially watch Wes Holland as he enters pit road next time, but Derek Gluchaki is our eye as we go into this pit cycle. Oh, he backs up. Oh, wow, he really messed up that pit stop. The 03 machine of Derek Gluchaki not getting well into that box. He's going to get past. Kevin Winter passed him. He's just out getting the left sides up. Wes Holland down pit road now. Let's watch the 4 machine as he gets into his box. He has to have a perfect pit stop to make up some time. Wes Holland getting one extra lap on the leaders of the cycle of green flag runs here. Longest green flag run of the evening, knock on wood. Here comes the 4 into his box. Gluchaki already out. 4 backs it up. Wow. 4. Gosh, what a pit cycle we got going here. Who did it right? Maybe Kevin Winter and James Lehman are really well. Wes Holland having one of his worst pit cycles, green flag pit stops I've ever seen. He is out of his pit box. Ronald Klein still on track. Nope, he's on pit road. He was our leader for that lap. He gets safely into his box. We're going to see who comes out of this pit cycle in the lead. I think it will be Kevin Winter and James Lehman as they are nose to tail for a second. Let's view them on track. They'll have some potential how this outcome will be this evening. What we really have to see if Kevin Winter picks up this lead is where Gilmore and Lee wind out their pit cycles. We'll get that here in a second, as we still have a run through, but James Lehman gaining time. Kevin Winter maybe a little bit slow off that corner.
Oh, here for that lead. These guys definitely closed it up while I was away.
Oh, Lehman giving a little bit there. Kevin Winter into the wall. He scrubs the wall a second time. Wow, that 8 machine Lehman really down low, flirting with disaster, getting off of turn 2 below the white line. I want to see where Wes Holland, he had another bad pit stop, but so did a ton of other drivers. Gosh, I can't say her name. Wes is doing what he can to give away the race. 2 green flag pit stops here at Darlington. Even with only 25 drivers fielding tonight, it is still a successful race to see these guys go out there. 11 cars on the lead lap.
Wow, I step away just to take a whiz, and wow, all those pit stops already happened. James Lehman now making that charge for the win, for the lead rather, down in the turn 1 once again. This time, Winter backs out of it. Doesn't want to get all messed up with a lot of contact or anything. That's a tough spot to be side by side, but now gets a great run out of turn 2. Will charge back on that 8 machine.
Yeah, 78 of Kevin Winter. Probably didn't like the aggressiveness of the 8 or the run of the 8, so to say. Lehman really putting on a show later on in this race. Kevin Winter really outstretching him on that last long run, but being in the dirty air versus the clean air, the 8 machine might prosper now. Dustin Lee Gilmore still improving their positions. That's bad news for the 78.
It is, but he's doing all he can for sure. He's definitely up on the wheel, driving it. And looking back, as you reported, Wes, with another bad pit stop, has gained some of that time back, down to 14 seconds last time at the stripe. Field is now working lap 122. Still, well, now we're down to 60 laps to go, Jeff. Still ways to go there.
Yep, a lot of things can happen. We at least have 1, maybe 2 more pit stops available to these drivers. We don't really know the number that they're going for. I haven't really been keeping track. I really should get a new pad of paper on my right hand here to mark down their pit stops, but 11 cars on the lead lap. Battle up front is Kevin Winter and James Lehman. Gluchaki holds down third. Even with all that damage, I imagine the 03 car would be a ton faster if he didn't have that rear spoiler damage.
Yeah, it definitely has changed the shape of that car somewhat. I'm going to get a little bit closer and just kind of eyeball this. A little bit of nose damage. As we look at the rear chase cam, great looking car. I like that teal with the black, pretty sharp. Definitely was sharper at the beginning of the race than it is now. From the far chase cam, yeah, a lot of damage to that rear spoiler. Definitely should affect the car on the straightaway a little bit as far as his top speed. I'm going to watch that top speed down the back straightaway. He hits 175, and now I'm going to pop on here with James Lehman and see where his top speed is before he gets out of it down in the 3.
Yeah, it should be a little bit of difference, but Daniel Smallwood, newcomer to the series, this race passes Jeff Gilmore at 4th position, splitting Dustin Lee Gilmore by 1 spot, but not enough for Kevin Winter to gain points distance. He's really going to have to bank on a caution or a mishap by the 2 and 57. Dustin Lee, I really want to point out that 2 machine. He may not have that great runs this season, or the series and the season, but he has 3 poles, he has 5 top 10s, 2 top 5s, not as much as his fellow top 8 competitors, but really when it matters, he's running extremely well.
He is doing a fine job, and looking at Lehman's speed, it was 178 is what he hit before he backed out of it in the 3. So a little bit of difference between him and Chalky.
Yep, let's look at our leader here. 8 of James Lehman running around lap traffic, really messing up his entry into that corner. the 8 machine now has to battle with the 79 of Smith, or Smith Jr., I take it as. Let me get a name on that. I'm not really versed with the 79.
Yeah, that's 79. That's Michael Smith Jr. It's a newer name to me, although he doesn't have a 3-digit number. Does actually head down the pit road as I talk about him.
You know, to be truthful, and I want John Hedrick to include on this, but Michael Smith Jr., he's one of, not the original guys, but maybe original drivers of loose lug nuts, at least in the first couple seasons. I think Michael Smith Jr. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of another name.
Well, what do we get? How it is? Remember, what are we talking about again? Just kidding. James Lehman now works his way into lap 131. Does have a substantial lead, as it looks like Kevin Winter has pitted or had some kind of an issue. I looked away.
Yeah, he's pitting right now. The 78, a short pit coming up. He's off of pit road, though. We missed that entirely. 78 machine choosing to short pit. I don't know if that's the right move or not, short pitting into the last pit stop. If the 78 can use newer tires versus the rest of the field.
Well, I think it's the Hail Mary, if you will, Jeff, from a strategy call. If he continues to do the same things that Gilmore and Dustin Lee does, he's going to be basically in the same spot. So he's got to do something different if he wants to make that Final Four for next week at Homestead, Miami.
That is true. 8 machine out front still. 03 Derek Luchaki staying out. He's now in second, about 7.5 seconds back from James Lehman. We have a different battle going on. It's all about points at this time. I'm sure these drivers know. We may not think they know, but they really know in their hearts where they end up. Kevin Winter really taking that gamble, hoping to misuse the strategy of Dustin Lee and Jeff Gilmore.
Absolutely, and looking a little further back, Wes Holland has moved around Jeff Gilmore and up to 5th spot. Still just really probably putting the fastest laps down on the track, and it's just those challenges that he's had down there in that pit stops that he's trying to overcome. 13.1 last time behind James Lehman, our leader.
Yep, he's got Daniel Smallwood in the front mirror at this moment. Daniel with a little bit of damage. Seating that position is the 069. Good move. West moves up another spot into 4th. Doesn't really have to battle for that, but has to worry about tire wear versus his fuel consumption for the remainder of the race.
Absolutely, and Kevin Winter currently with that pit stop is 1 lap down. The only car 1 lap down at this juncture in 9th. They have 8 cars left on the lead lap here at Darlington with the field still in the green. Long green run. It's been a while since we've seen that iRacing Mustang poke its head out of pit road. 8 cars on the lead lap, those of which are James Lehman, our leader, Luchaki in second, Dustin Lee in third, Reckham Wes Holland now digging and clawing his way up to 4th. And we have Daniel Smallwood in that 5th spot. Jeff Happy Gilmore, I'm pretty sure he's happy right now, being in that 6th spot. And Ronnie Klein in that 7th spot. And looking down, I just saw it pass. I thought it was Ron Klein involved, but it wasn't. Jared Potts, last car on the lead lap in 8th.
Yep, that was Kevin Winter. He's a lap down like you viewed in 9th, but he's got those fresh tires. He's going to be a second or 2 faster than these guys. He really took a chance going down pit road so early. Wes Holland not giving him the spot there. Wes really racing it out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wes won't have any choice down in 3 and 4, though. He's going to rocket out of turn 2, and Wes does just says, there you go, have it. And he works his way around Wes Holland down in the turn 3.
Yep, if I was still on the track and not Kevin Winter, I would be just looking at a gas and go pit stop upcoming. Like I said, normally you want to wear out as much gas or fuel consumption as possible and then worry about tires as a second factor, unless we are, as we are, under green flag conditions where, tires are just going to get worn out. Dustin Lee now down pit road.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we have another taker for pit road. He might be seeing what's going on. And in that bubble spot with him, probably reacting, I think, to that.
Yep, Jeff Gilmore down a lap early is the 57. He's out and away. We're looking at the two of Dustin Lee. He's just getting onto pit road a lap previous to the 57. A little bit of tire difference, not too much. The 2 doesn't overshoot his pits, but really good pit stop from him upcoming. We got to see what the leader and Derek Muchaki has in mind for Wes Holland. Wes Holland probably running out the rest of his tires.
I mean, I've got to see these guys probably all starting to hit the pit road after they've seen that many guys pit already. And there's got to be some kind of fuel window strategy thing at play that we're not 100%. And
Wes spinning the car. Almost. Look at that Ford machine. He got in almost half sideways to pit road. He definitely didn't want to speed this time around because this is the last pit stop potentially upcoming for this race. Wes running it out fully. We got to go to one lap 183. We're at lap 142, 143.
I think we have one more, Jeff. I don't think they can run that far.
We could. So those short pit stops could be a consolation towards the rest of the race, but you have to worry about, cars getting sideways and getting turned around, so you might want to run out of fuel. Who knows at the end of this race? Wes having a successful green flag pit stop, not getting holed up. 4 tires, gas, he's away.
Yes, and good pit stop that time for Wes, and I'm sure he'll be tickled pink on that one. And up front, we actually have Daniel Smallwood shown as the leader as this cycle starts.
Yeah, he's just down on pit road.
And, of course, he's down on pit road as soon as I speak. Fake news for me.
Not Kevin Winter looking strong off this run. He has Ronald Klein in front of him. I think Ronald Klein may have taken 2 tires. No, he's a lap down. He pitted well before or well after the I believe it's the 78 machine of Kevin Winter.
Oh, my buddy gave up. David Johnson's to call it a night and packed it up. He was actually up to 15th spot. Still out there running up until he had just retired.
Yep. 15 probably realizing at this point it's a long lost cause. At least it was a long shot at one point. But with these green flag runs and cars staying on the track, 15 really not having a good start to the race and not ending it successfully. Wes Holland passes for position there over Kyle Chadwick. Our leader now is Kevin Winter.
Yes, sir. Kevin Winter in that 78 machine. Now up front with about a 7-second lead, a 7.5-second lead over James Lehman. But I do expect James Lehman to have just a whole second right off of it to close that right up. This lead is, of course, built up with that those laps with the newer tires with that earlier pit strategy. And again, kind of on the edge of our seats to see how this does play out. Currently on that bubble spot, he is still out with Lee in 3rd and Gilmore in 7th. So still a ways to go and still a lot can happen. But Kevin Winter doing everything he can do, but it's still just not enough.
Yeah, showing checkered flag. I'm seeing on a delayed end. It's not checkered flag, Mr. D'Amico. Hopefully, we're not that far in the replay
And that last
ourselves.
time out of turn 4, Winter did brush the wall out of turn 4. I saw the sparks flying off of that 78 machine and that safer barrier here at Darlington. That's definitely something he doesn't want to do a whole lot of.
Oh wow, we had a potential accident almost brewing in front of the 8 machine with that 79 of Smith Jr. Lehman happened to get off the loud pedal, not able to successfully run. The 79 is going to have to yield. He's off the corner.
Sideways up against the wall.
That's going to cause a caution.
Potts goes around. He goes around. Caution does fly as you predicted. Tragedy with James Lehman trying to work his way through these lap cars here at Darlington on lap 149.
Yeah, that wasn't James Lehman. That was the 79 machine getting in the wall, not yielding his position or his down position to a lead lap car. You know, you race for position if you're on lead lap, but those leaders are potentially so much faster than yourself. You really have to gather your corner entry speed or front stretch, back stretch to the leaders.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. Lehman did actually get into the back of that 79 car briefly, which sent him up into the wall. And the rest of the events played out subsequently.
Oh, that could be the case. I don't disagree. We got a pit stop upcoming. Let's view our leader 78. We'll continue the conversation. Bob, I think
and there's
you
a
should
fight
have
in the booth. The gloves have fallen.
No. I just think the 8 machine had such a faster car compared to the 79 and 40 at that point that the 79 should have yielded position going into the corner, or at least during the front backstretch situation there. I'm not sure where that occurred. So this is really the downfall of the 78 and 8. Really the real winner here is Wes Holland, who needs the track time to close, and yet it does. I'm going to take a quick break for my pit stop. Bob has the rest of the call.
All right. Well, he's out of here. He's totally wrong, and I'm sure all the fun. I'm just kidding. Anyway, pit stop's going on down here now, and looks like Kevin Winter is actually going to win this race off. This is probably a nice breather. It does kind of change up the whole strategy as to what these guys are doing. We did have one lucky dog. It may have been Ronald Klein. I think we might have had a lucky dog there. Anyway, cars are working their way back on the speedway with 4 new Goodyear Eagles and Sunoco Racing Fuel lap 151, 183. I'm projecting that they're still short as far as making it here to the end. And folks, while we have a moment here, under caution, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to tonight's broadcast. A lot of great stuff and a lot of fun times here at Lugnuts Racing. And Ronald Klein actually asked him for some advice on that. And Brandon Thornhill is our tower admin, and they're communicating on that last occurrence. We'll see what they come up with, and if it differs from my opinion. Top 4 or 5 here. Well, Kevin Winter, after pit stops, is our leader. Derek Luchacki in second. Dustin Lee third. Ronald Klein fourth. James Lehman in fifth. And we had a occurrence, it sounded like, on the pit in, from what I'm hearing in the race chat. Somebody was out of gas or clipping barrels. I'm not sure if anybody saw that. Back to that rundown now. Wes Holland up to 6th spot and back regrouped with the field. So the amount down from those pit road challenges is gone, which is a great thing for him. Daniel Smallwood in 7th. And it was the 124. I don't know if we want to look at. I don't have a 124. Maybe he means the 142. Trying to check out. I'm going to try to check this out. Been a lot of back and forth on the race chat here about a 142 or a 124 clipping the barrels on the way in the pit road. It could be an interesting thing to at least take a view here before we get back to green.
Yep, Bob checking that out. I'm back from my pit stop. Kevin Winter Derek Luchocki not getting time to fix that rear spoiler back bumper of the vehicle there. A MaxSpeedTV sponsored car.
Oh, wow. That was big. I'm watching this. I'm not sure if you got it, Mike. But it's the 142, and a bunch of guys got all gaggled up there at the pit end with somebody hitting the barrels there going in.
Yeah, we need a caution flag here potentially. I'm seeing not a lot of cars caught up to the field. Pace car is down. We'll see what the call is. Bob, update me on the 57 receiving a black flag.
Oh, wow. That was cleared.
Okay, it was cleared. I'm glad for that situation. Not a ton of cars not caught up to the field as we take the green, maybe for the final time. Battle for fourth going on. That was Smallwood around Klein. That was a points potential situation. Kevin Winter leads us off.
Yeah, Kevin Winter, Glue Jockey out of turn 4. Glue Jockey, and I don't think a challenge on the inside. Thinks better of it, falls in behind. We had a quick look at our points situation. Hasn't changed.
No, not really changed. Gilmore, Lee running in that top 10. Not where Winter wants him to be, but Winter doing everything he can to affect the outcome of his potential next week. He's leading this race. Gaggle of cars from second to eighth on backwards.
Everybody tightened right up right now. Wes Holland, the back car of this pack here in ninth. That is, all of you lead lap cars here, right there on top of each other, though. I believe that black flag that Jeff Gilmore had was something to do with that incident on that pit in, and he may have got a passing under yellow flag.
That is true.
And they cleared it because of that.
Pass there, 57 Gilmore getting past Kyle Chadwick, who was slow off of turn 4. James Lehman now up behind the 57 of Gilmore. Gilmore worried about points. He has to be. He's on that bubble, and he is at least in our minds potentially scored fourth. He's behind Ronald Klein. Ronald Klein still has to worry a little bit. He does not want to wreck that vehicle.
Yeah, Ronald Klein, pretty comfy spot, and I almost wish I could say, hey, Jeff, you're good. Just be careful with it and finish. I wish I could talk to him right now. And further back, we have Kyle Chadwick, Garrett Potts getting after it. Garrett Potts gets around Chadwick. Best of friends, those guys. I expect a lot of clean races out of those two. And up front, still leading is Kevin Winter, but Glue Chalky has not run away. He's kind of stuck to him like glue and trying to reel him in, trying to get that lead. And side by side for that third spot with Dustin Lee and Smallwood battling it out. Smallwood takes the spot away from Dustin Lee.
Yep, Smallwood running for respect. Dustin Lee running for points. He's got that bubble machine also in there. He's got Ron Klein behind him. Smallwood taking third. Glue Chalky has to keep in mind his race of points. Kevin Winter sitting on the proverbial bubble in our minds, at least, of the man out at this situation.
Yeah, still doing all he can. He can't do much more other than win and be in the spot he's in. Although Glue Chalky has something to say about him winning, he's still right there.
Yep, Glue Chalky winning races this season, throwing the curveball into some points battles early, or not early on, about mid-season. He joined us here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. I like curveballs. You got to hit the curveball once in a while as the batter, but in this situation, maybe you don't want to see that curveball.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeff, I projected that we were outside of that fuel window. As these guys did go back to green from what we've seen. So we do have one stop coming up here at Darlington.
Yeah, with these guys racing as hard as they can, we could see another caution. I hope not. I love battles that evolve around the mindset of pits. At least when I've won against the Ford machine in the past and other drivers, respectively, it's been the battle of minds of when you pit and when you don't pit. Track position really key here in these Cup cars, as it is mostly hammered down.
Yes, and folks, you might be seeing that smoke keeps trying to go down the front straightaway. Sadly, it is not a smoker with some great Southern barbecue in it. Some wise guy still has their car running down there in the pits and has it all tore up, and that's engine smoke that you're seeing. But nothing to be alarmed of, nothing on track.
Yep, maybe in the south here at Darlington, but there is a no barbecue situation on pit road at least. 7803 really keeping pace. I'm surprised 78, at least in my view, has a cleaner car. The left rear spoiler maybe messed up on the 78, but overall the right hand side of the car, 78 has the better perspective.
And how about this new guy, this Smallwood guy? He's doing pretty good here, introducing himself to Lugnuts Racing. I think I've seen him a couple of times, but third at Darlington at this juncture, that's a pretty good run that he's putting together.
Yeah, I heard guys early on looking at his practice time and qualifying time going, dang, another fast guy that we have to outrun. Friends with James Lehman. Sorry, Smallwood, I asked you earlier on what your team name was. Lowline Racing, I don't quite remember. Maybe I got it right, but he's now up to second. We got pitting going on.
Yeah, guys, electing the short pit and play some strategy, one of which...
Derek Luchaki.
Yes, Gluchaki, and sticks that pit road entrance rather well. Let's see how he does. I wish the guy would turn the damn engine off on pit road. It's getting annoying.
A lot of guys staying out. Let's view that 4 car. He is a lap down. Did he already take his pit?
Yeah,
we might have missed the pit.
I got Chadwick and Holland, Lehman, all pitting. I'm showing him now a lap down. Gluchaki back on track. As we alluded to, must have been a real short pit stop because he is, well, there he is. Now he's a lap down, just like those other guys.
Does the Ford machine feel like he can stay out, or is he just running the risk of a caution?
He's pitted.
The Ford machine's pitted. Okay, so we believe here the Ford machine. Okay, so the Ford machine probably 90% pitted, running out the rest of his race. Kevin Winter, where's he at?
Still on track, actually. This is actually another opportunity, as I alluded to do something different, because he is on track as well as Dustin Lee and Jeff Gilmore and Ronald Klein appear to be the guys that have not pitted yet. For that,
Dustin Lee passing up the 78. Look at that, Bob. Dustin Lee getting some clean air, not getting the pass there. 78 has to look at a potential pit stop here with a lot of short pitting going on. We're in the final throes of this race.
I wonder if he was going through his black boxes and got distracted for just a moment, setting up his pit stop.
No, I do that all the time.
That's easy to do, and now Dustin Lee does work his way around him.
Dustin Lee doesn't want to stay on the track too long himself. He may be playing the game with Kevin Winter, knowing his battle with Kevin Winter, but you gotta, look in the mirror and see Gilmore, who I think is also still on the track. The bubble situation really playing a part. Dustin Lee out to the lead. Kevin Winter on that bubble, as is Jeff Gilmore, staying out as long as they can.
They sure are, and I'm kind of surprised. Different strategy here, definitely playing out. Field will begin lap 172. We're nearing that 10 to go mark.
Yep. Hopefully, I know cautions are set and they can't, disavow a caution. Here's the 78 running up against the 2 with a good run off that turn 2 exit. They really got to play in mind. Maybe they're saving maybe it's just a lap shy type deal if you take 2 tires and a little bit of gas, as the other guys have done, but these guys are really playing the gamble out early on.
And I just hopped on board, and there's some fresh damage there up on the right front of Kevin Winter, and looking for a nice ride around the outside of that 2 machine and gets back up into the front, but not really seeing an indication that he's Dustin Lee's out of gas. We're hearing from our booth.
Who's that, D'Amico?
That 2 machine.
I didn't catch it. D'Amico, I saw some smoke there out of Ron Klein and Garrett Potts. We'll potentially take a look. But really, guys that are suffering right now with guys staying out is Wes Holland, Derek Luchaki, Daniel Smallwood, James Lehman. 40 machine, gosh, it's a proverbial, do I stay out, do I keep going? They're side-by-side battles. Wes passing for position. Oh, Luchaki almost making contact.
Wow, exciting stuff back there. Still up front, we have Winter and Dustin Lee on top 2. I think they're trying to save gas. They're going to make me look wrong.
What was that, D'Amico?
We're gonna ride with Dustin Lee quickly here too, and he's doing. Whoa! Wes gets sideways, gets hit by somebody there. I thought he had contact. Does gather it back up. I think that was Luchaki working his way through there. But back on board here with Dustin Lee. Kind of get a sense as to what he's doing. Behind the wheel of that good-looking 2 machine. Wow, it is. Yeah, he's cutting it off. I just caught him cutting it off. He is clutching and killing, as I call it, in that 2 machine. He's made his bed. He's made his bed. He has got to play this strategy out. And wow, he is killing it a lot and coasting. And I don't know how this is going to play out, Jeff. I've been.
Well, yeah. Look at that 57 and the 2 machine all on the same somewhat strategy. 57 not saving as much. A lot of potential cautions happening here. We are in that spot. Oh, 78 off the wall.
Yes, definitely. I got more sparkage back here. More guys riding that wall and then riding with Dustin Lee. Jeff Gilmore now works his way up to the lead. But in riding with Dustin Lee, he was coasting more than he was using the throttle. I don't know.
Yep, 57, Gilmore in the lead. Wes Holland looking for the lead, or the lead lap back, trying to get under him. He has the fresher tires. Gilmore not really given position. Why should he? The 4 machine a lap down, looking for more points. Here goes the 4. He really rides it up there, saves it.
Field will begin lap 180 this time by. Gosh, it almost might be worth it for Winter to pit, even though that he's played this strategy out, because, well, I don't even know if it's going to be enough spots if Dustin does run out and not make the stripe with the tires left on track. I think we only have 14 left, so wow.
10 cars, I wouldn't say 1 lap down. The top 10 position, at least 1 lap down. Dustin Lee making the pass on 78's doing the most he can. He has to play the long shot of Dustin Lee and Gilmore not making it and himself making it with a long verbiage of pit windows. Gilmore leading us thus far. 8 of Lehman on the back of 57. We are in that window of guys not needing a caution. 57 definitely does it. Here goes the 57 down pit road late.
Oh, misses the pit in, or not even sure what he's doing. Oh no, he's in pit.
That
was
was
somebody else. That's Crazy Mike getting out of the way.
Yeah, John Pansula out of the potential thing. Dustin Lee now out to the lead. This really helps him.
This is the battle, Jeff. If Dustin Lee runs out of gas and Kevin Winter doesn't and makes it to the stripe, regardless of whether he wins this race or not. Oh, it looks like Kevin Winter is out. He's making his way down the pit road now. Kevin Winter is out.
Yeah, we're in the last few laps of this race. Here is the white flag. Dustin Lee taking the white flag. We will view him all the way through this lap. He has to be clutching it and shutting it off like you mentioned before. We were on board with Dustin Lee for a long time. Still might be on board. Dustin Lee, he is running the best race possible. Second is Ronald Klein.
I think he's going to do it, Jeff. Ronald Klein, 5 seconds back. If it runs out now, he's just going to coast to get there. He does it. Wow.
Dustin Lee. Impressive win for Dustin Lee. That's going to get him into the Final Four. Ronald Klein coming up in second spot. I think Derek Luchaki with a great race into third. Kevin Winter outside that bubble. Where did Jeff Gilmore finish? Jeff Gilmore hasn't finished the race. He will come across.
Still cycling on my screen too.
Yeah, Jeff Gilmore I think finished 9th. That's going to leave the 78 machine of Kevin Winter outside the points in our mind. We'll make that official either on Facebook or during our interviews. Give us a moment here. Viewers, and we'll have these.
I can't believe you did that.
What a race, Bob. We'll have these guys up. Talk about a race.
I mean, he put on a clinic on how to save fuel. And I was riding with him, and he's got fuel to do a burnout. You gotta be shitting me. I can't believe he ran that long on the fuel. Surely he's gonna run out of fuel during this burnout. Yes, he's gonna run out of fuel during this burnout. Don't call me Shirley. Anyway, awesome job, and I'm really impressed at his skill set there on saving fuel. Ronald Klein does come home second, Glitchaki third, and we're going to get these guys up here for the post-race show, Jeff Wood.
Yep, bringing up first is our third place here to this evening. Derek Luchaki and that 03 machine finishing third, having a damaged car and a good strategy, coming home in a podium position. How say you, Derek?
It was a rough night. I tried to stay out of the fence as long as I could, but stuff happens, and got in the wall early. Ended the race with over 1.5 minutes of damage, so, I mean, that's pretty bad, but, came back from a lap down, passed the whole field, and got within 12 seconds of the leader, so can't really complain about that. Had a good night, so.
All right.
Yeah, and definitely a good job there, Derek. Did you feel like did you have a sense that you maybe could win this race? Looking at the guys up in front of you playing that fuel strategy, especially Dustin Lee. I can't believe he made it, but was they didn't reach. And what are you thinking about next week in Homestead?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I had a shot. When I was behind Kevin, I was like, I'm just going to push him, see if he'll go. And he ended up going, and he ended up having the pit 2-3 laps before the finish or something like that. So that part worked out for me. And then we started pulling on Dustin and all them, and I knew they were just saving, and I was already committed to going. So as soon as the laps dropped below the laps we had left, just went down pit road and decided to drive the wheels off it to get back to where I was. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Homestead. Don't have a chance at it, but I just come in here to have a good time, try to run up front, win races. So that's what we're gonna do in Homestead, and hopefully gain 2 more spots.
All right, Derek. Any final shout-outs you want to give before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, definitely. MaxSpeedTV, all you guys do a great job. Shout out to you guys. Everyone who runs this league, they do a great job. Definitely one of the most competitive out there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just hope everyone enjoyed the show.
All right, Derek. Hopefully we'll see you next week at Homestead, throwing a wrench in maybe some guy's perspective of that race. We'll see you then, buddy.
See you then.
All right, up next we have Dustin Lee, or excuse me, not Dustin Lee. We have Ronald Klein on the position of number 2, 76. Take it away, Bob.
Ronnie, nice job out there tonight. Good looking car. Looked like you had a shot there for a while, actually, capture that win, especially with Dustin there playing that fuel card on you.
Yeah, Dustin and I were actually talking, and we knew that Wes and James had pulled off, and we knew what the fuel window kind of was. I said if we really save with them as far back as they are, we can just kind of coast it and probably stay in the top 5 and get both of our teams into the final 4, and that's what we chose to do. It was a great first half of the race. Made a mistake, ran the car out of fuel about halfway through, and really cost myself some time. But that late race caution really helped us out, put us back up towards the front, and use some fuel strategy.
Yeah, using that late race caution, Ron, you really improved your position, set yourself up well. You're in the board all 3 series for Homestead. Let's talk about the Cup Series, though, and maybe mention what you feel strongest in overall of the 3 series.
I think, honestly, the Cup car, it handles... The Cup car used to be a nightmare. It used to be people were kind of scared of it because the amount of power, and it would get loose, and it'd be tight in, loose off. And these things are, honestly, they're more like an Xfinity car that drive better. They're a little bit looser, so they turn well. You can get back to the throttle, and you don't have to really worry about spinning them out. They're actually probably, in my opinion, the most fun cars to drive. The downside to it is the tires don't wear enough, in my opinion, in these cars.
And next week at Homestead, Ron, got that in your sights again in that final 4. Wishing you the best of luck. Any high fives, shout outs, and fist pumps you want to give before we let you go?
You guys up in the booth once again. It's always great going back and watching. It's a little bit late, but I am going to try to watch some of this, especially towards the end, and hear some commentary, and then maybe watch the rest of it tomorrow. So big shout out to you guys, MaxSpeedTV. I want to give a big shout out to John Hedrick at Over the Top Paints and Designs. Go look him up on Facebook at the Paint Booth, or at the Over the Top Paints and Designs. Get yourself a nice custom paint job. Also want to thank all my teammates at Team Exile, and give a huge shout. Congratulations, whatever, fist bump, shaking my hands in the air for Dustin. Dustin was really wanting to get a win, and I know it's racing. It's all part of it. It was a strategy, and he got it that way. We both said we just wanted to take it easy on the cars and make it through the finish. We did that, but big shout out to him, man. He did so well. He had an extra lap of fuel at the end, so big shout out to him.
All right, that's Ronald Klein, driver of that number 76 machine, and tonight's runner-up. And now we're going to get him up in the booth. Tonight's Top Shelf Cup Series Darlington champion, Dustin Lee. How's that sound? Darlington Championship. Tell the folks at home what it means to you to win at Darlington.
That means a lot. Never really had a lot of luck at this track. Always kind of run good, but never seemed to finish it off. So, yeah, it feels good. Actually get out of here. I think I may have barely scraped the wall one time, so I say that's a win all in itself.
Yeah, talking about your race there, Ron mentioned that you saved so much fuel, you had an extra lap. You really showed what it was for the strategy working towards the end of the race. We believe in our minds, at least looking at the points battle, you're in the top 4. You're going to be racing at Homestead for the championship. What do you have for that track and your fellow competitors?
Well, I said last week I really didn't like this place and was going to try to survive and end up winning. So, yeah, give it all I got.
All right, well, awesome job. I was riding with you in the cockpit cam there, and I was watching you cut and kill, as I call it, basically turning the engine off and clutching it and saving a lot of fuel. And you did a phenomenal job. Put on a clinic on how that's done. Wish you the best of luck next week in Homestead. Any high fives, shout outs, and fist bumps you want to give before we let you go tonight, Dustin?
Yeah, thanks for Over the Top Paints Designs. The awesome paints, and also thanks to Ronald and Garrett and the whole team. And thank you guys for putting this on and broadcasting. Do an awesome job.
Well, all right, that's tonight's Darlington champ.
Well, Bob, we had an interesting race here tonight. Dustin Lee, our winner. Fuel strategy playing an important role. Really not much shakeup, but congrats to what we believe is the top four of Wes Holland, Ronald Klein, Dustin Lee, and Jeff Gilmore. That could change. Be sure to check it out on Facebook. Like I said, Loose Lug Nuts Racing, Over the Top Paints and Designs. What do you say, Bob, about this race and into next week?
I tell you, we had a huge, long green run there. We saw some guys challenged with pit stop problems. Wes Holland in particular, that's something he cannot do next week at Homestead, being in the championship Final Four. Next week, I think, is going to be a great race. I hope everybody that watched tonight tells their friends about it, share it, and be here and be tuned in for the championship race for the Top Shelf Cup Series cars. Huge thank you to everybody that did watch, and a huge thank you to Mr. D'Amico down there in the MaxSpeedTV virtual production truck. And as always, Jeff Wood, a pleasure working with you. And until next time, we will see you at the races.
Two wheels in the open loud.